Under the shadow of the forest, tension is rising. A predator and its prey are about to begin a chase that is as old as their instincts to survive. This is a battle of the senses. Only the most cunning will succeed. And as we shall see, the outcome is always unpredictable. Located on the far western tip of Europe, the Iberian Peninsula is one of the most astonishing regions on the planet. Mountains are a key element of its isolation, and Iberian wildlife evolved in a different way, creating many unique species that only exist here. Remote, hostile, and unforgiving, mountains still have much of their original wilderness. These are places where wildlife thrives and where some of the most emblematic species have found their stronghold. Rivers are born in mountains. The highlands collect the rainwater, which will then descend with full force to lower grounds. Their path has been shaping the landscape for millions of years. Rivers also bring life to these mountainous regions. There are many different and unique habitats among the main Iberian mountain ranges. On the highest peaks, we find the stage for fierce confrontations. The refuge of the last great predators of the peninsula, and some of the most unique and dramatic landscapes of Europe. These are the tales of Iberia's highlands. The Cantabria is one of the roughest landscapes in the peninsula. Even so, for some animals, it is the perfect habitat. A group of chamois is grazing on a steep slope. Something catches the attention of one of the sentinels. A rare mountain dweller is searching for food. The Iberian bear. As long as they keep their distance, everyone is safe. Although he could hunt a chamois, the chase is not worth the effort. This ancient land, ripped by high mountain peaks, still holds some of the most pristine habitats of the peninsula. Iberian bears are essentially vegetarian and have plenty of food options here. Threatened by centuries of persecution, its presence in the territory has been reduced to around 200 individuals. In these mountains, they reside on the largest patches of native forest in the peninsula. Finding food is not a problem in this well-preserved ecosystem. The forest has a lot to offer. And brown bears are extremely opportunistic animals. Anything will serve as a meal. This anthill is a nice find for this mother and her cub. Between spring and autumn, all brown bears must gather the much-needed energy reserves for the next hibernation period. But food is not their only concern. One thing that is hard to find in these large areas is a mate. Here, a bear can go for weeks without seeing another bear. But for mating, nature always finds a solution. When bears want to make their presence known, they communicate by rubbing themselves on trees in order to leave their scent. And they do it with style. Once spread across several regions of the peninsula, brown bears are today reduced to a small territory here in northern Spain. However, their population has been recovering in numbers, mainly because nowadays the bear is seen as part of the rich natural heritage of the Iberian Peninsula. More than any other, the brown bear is the ultimate symbol of Iberian wildlife resilience. Here, rivers have carved deep valleys through millions of years. Autumn has arrived, and with it, the rainy season in the mountains. All fresh water comes from the rain, and these rivers will soon be at full force. Rainwaters and strong currents mean richer waters in nutrients and oxygen. The river grows larger, and its great power is unleashed. The power of the renewal of life. For the fish that aim to travel upstream, the time is just right. Every year, thousands of fish will begin a journey from the sea back to their birthplace so they can spawn in the same place where they were born. It is a fight for an entire generation. Among them, there is a perfect specialist: the salmon. After spending their adult lives at sea, the time has finally come to return home to spawn. Only the strongest can make the journey to the highlands. It is a perfect example of the survival of the fittest. It seems like an impossible task, but the ones that make it will guarantee their heritage in the next generation. Once they get to calmer waters, they have to find a good spot to breed. Now, the females will be courted by the strongest males. The males will do everything in their power to protect the females until they spawn. Nevertheless, there are always small and sneaky males trying their own luck. With the first snowfalls in the highest peaks of the peninsula, the chilly arrival of winter has been announced. For the animals that live here, the coming months will be very harsh. Only the fittest will survive. Snow will gradually build up over the coming weeks, covering everything in a beautiful and serene white blanket. The mountains will be less exposed to the sunlight, and nights will begin to be much longer. Thanks to this combination, temperatures will drop way down below freezing. At the same time, winter storms will bring humidity and rain, which at this altitude means big snowfalls. The snow and ice will trap and freeze most of the vegetation and the water. This is the brutal essence of the mountain in all its splendor. A beautiful yet unforgiving landscape. Even though these mountains are the home of some of the biggest animals in the peninsula. We are in central Spain, in one of the most extensive mountain ranges of Iberia. A golden eagle, the largest bird of its kind, is feeding on the remains of an unfortunate rabbit. This is a land of giants. The Iberian ibex. A group of females are grazing. A large male keeps the group under his watch. Autumn has arrived, along with the mating season. The male is already sensing which females are ready to mate. He can smell the pheromones in the air. But he's not the only one sensing it. Other males approach to try and attempt to gain control over the females. Tensions rise. The air is full of testosterone. The old male has to defend his breeding rights. He is challenged by a younger male. A true clash of titans. The weapons of this battle are 1 meter long horns. The fight can last for up to an hour. It will come down to strength and stamina. At last, there is a winner. The older male has succeeded in keeping his breeding right. The younger male will be gone for now. The cold of winter has settled in. For the mountain dwellers, this is the most challenging time of the year, as food is really hard to find. As time goes by, winter will lose its grip over the highlands. Days are now longer, and the temperatures are slowly increasing. The storms give way to sunny days. This means that all the snow and ice that has been covering the mountains for months will now begin to melt. Drop by drop, all this water will be released. And the rivers will receive a new boost. Pushed by gravity, all the water stored during the winter will begin a journey towards distant lands. Iberia's wild inhabitants will now have a much-needed support during the coming months. The winter took its toll on each and every one of them. The short and chilly winter days will gradually become a memory. The season of abundance is coming once again. In the heart of Portugal, two of the greatest rivers of the country are born on this magnificent landscape. Near the spring, young rivers flow eagerly downhill, forming rapids and waterfalls. This is the perfect habitat for a small specialist, the dipper. This small family of 3 has settled here, and here they will remain until the young chick is capable of facing life on his own. While the father keeps a close look on the infant, the mother will encourage the little one to start his own adventure under the surface. Dippers survive by exploring a unique territory, one which other songbirds dare not conquer. They feed on insect larvae that grow in crystal clear and oxygen-rich waters on the bottom of the river. The chick is reluctant, but his instinct speaks louder than his fear, and there is only one way that is going to end. The current is quite strong, but all young dippers face the same challenges. He doesn't appear to know what to look for just yet. But soon enough, he's back on track. In a quiet pond at the edge of the riverbed, he starts to look around. After a shy start, he gets bolder, and he's doing what he was born to: dip. This species has evolved to adapt completely to a life in the rapids. And his body is perfectly streamlined as to offer no resistance to the current. He hunts for prey hidden under the pebbles. After much persistence, he finally gets his first catch. He seems encouraged and ready to face the waters on his own. After a few minutes, though, his luck has run out. He looks around and sees that his mother is nearby and still on the hunt. It seems that it is time to adopt a different, more familiar strategy. When hungry, just ask for food. The mother is not willing to give in. It is important that the chick is capable of fending for himself. The time is coming for him to leave the nest. But the chick will insist. This is an argument that is as old as parenting. And sure enough, the mother concedes. It is not yet time for him to go. These encounters will become more rare in the next few days, and the youngster will be gradually chased away from his parents' territory. For now, and although he's already fully grown, he will remain here for a little longer. The Pyrenees are the mountain range that separates the Iberian Peninsula from the rest of Europe. They form a natural barrier that caused several endemisms to develop on the peninsula. These mountains are a majestic territory where wildlife thrives. Summer has arrived. The alpine meadows are unique ecosystems that can support great numbers of different species. Next to a stream, a group of blue butterflies gather to collect mineral salts from the muddy banks. Not far away, a family of marmots build their castle in this meadow. On the top of it, they have a privileged view over the valley. They can feed in peace. They come out of their dens in the dusky hours when it's cooler. There is always a sentry standing for the safety of the bunch. Its role is to warn the entire group of the slightest sign of danger while everyone is feeding. Marmots must hurry to recover the energy reserves they lost during the last hibernation. The mountain's climate is demanding, and soon the temperatures will drop, bringing snow. These pups are 3 months old. They are at the beginning of their learning curve. And one of the first lessons is to always be alert. A threat hangs in the sky. A high-pitched sound is the signal to run for cover. The golden eagle is the marmot's #1 enemy. The sentry is the last marmot standing. It has to ensure that no one is left behind. The sentinel fulfills its mission. All marmots hide from danger. The eagle will have to continue its search. It will not be lucky in this neighborhood. The northern mountains of Portugal. The ponds and small lakes that exist here are a treat for wildlife. At this altitude, insects have to take advantage of the abundance of the hot season, as they will not survive the coming drop in temperatures. It is a race against time. After reaching adulthood, most have only a few weeks to reproduce. In all this hurry, there is truly the need for speed. Some plants and animals take forms and behaviors that we do not associate with their genus. This is the case of the hummingbird hawk moth. Their shape and behavior perfectly resemble a hummingbird. It is a remarkable case of convergent evolution. Different branches, same solutions. They can flap their wings up to 85 times per second. These are sugar-powered machines. Like the moth, this plant also takes on an unexpected shape and behavior. Its leaves are covered with tentacles, whose tips look like drops of dew. These drops give the plant its name, the sundew. Its smell and appearance are irresistible for many insects. Its surface is extremely sticky. Insects, attracted by the promise of nectar, are trapped, unable to break free. Time passes by and the sundew tightens its grip. Then, the plant's digestive enzymes turn the insect into a nutrient-rich meal. Without this carnivorous diet, the sundews would not survive on these poor, rocky mountain soils. Small rivers and their surrounding vegetation form the perfect habitats for many species of bird. They are perfect sites for breeding, as water and food are readily available. Spring has arrived. This is a black kite's nest. Kites are migratory birds. They spend the winters in Africa and migrate to Europe during spring and summer to nest. The Iberian Peninsula is home to the largest black kite colony in Europe. To feed her chick, this mother must travel great distances. They spend a lot of time gliding, using hot air currents while cruising the landscape in search of food. After flying for several hours, something catches the mother's attention. A flock of vultures usually means that there's food around. She flies by to check. On the ground, a feast is about to begin. But no one seems to have an invitation. Vultures will fight and show all their aggressiveness to stand in a better position to feed. The dance of these fascinating animals is a sight to behold. The mother will have to wait for an opportunity to get a meal. In less than an hour, little will be left of the carcass. The mother knows that soon other kites will also come to feed on what remains. Finally, she decides to approach and manages to take her share. And now it's back to the nest to split the meal with her only chick. This river makes up one of the many natural borders between Portugal and Spain. It is born in Spain and runs to the Atlantic Ocean. And it is in these waters that we can find one of the most fascinating river creatures. The lamprey. This one is dying. His badly bruised body is a testimony to the odyssey he recently undertook. Like salmon, this is a migratory species. He was born in fresh water. While he was still a larvae, he fed on debris and plankton on the riverbed. After a few years, he underwent a metamorphosis and migrated to the sea. A year later, he returned to this river with a single and ultimate goal: to spawn. He has built a nest on the riverbed using stones and sand. With the help of his sucking mouth, he removes the unwanted pebbles one by one. Everything has to be perfect, or it will all be for nothing. The construction of the nest is an exhausting task, the ultimate effort. After returning to this river, the male has stopped eating. He now lives exclusively on his reserves. It's a race against time. He will die soon. He must find a mate. His nest was approved, and a female approaches. They mate as if they were dancing, one beautiful last dance. The female releases the eggs over the nest, and the male fertilizes them right away. The next generation will be born here. All the effort is paid off. The cycle of life is complete. Not long after their mission is fulfilled, all lampreys will die in the same waters where they were born. In our eyes, this may seem like a tragic story, but this natural cycle has been repeating itself in this river for millions of years. We are now in the north of Portugal, on an old and quiet river, the home of one of the greatest hunters of Iberia. Otters are excellent swimmers. They hunt many different prey, but fish is their favorite. Otters are perfectly adapted to life underwater. He starts by checking an underwater tree root for hidden fish. The fish sense the danger and run away. He comes up for air and goes back underwater, determined to catch a fish. Otters glide effortlessly underwater and can hold their breath for up to 4 minutes. He comes up for a broader perspective. Another try. This time, the male manages to confuse and stun one of the fish. Lunch is served. Although they spend most of their time in the water, otters still depend on land to rest and feed. They are spread throughout all of the Iberian Peninsula and are a key species for the balance of the ecosystem. We are now in one of the most populated regions of Portugal. In a mountain located very close to a small city, the woodlands surrounding these caves are home to a fascinating species whose ecology is still quite unknown. The mysterious golden-striped salamander. This male leaves his den. He seems determined to go through the forest, guided by an ancestral instinct. He will have to be cautious to reach his destination. Predators lurk everywhere. The male will have to go unnoticed through the undergrowth. Other males are also coming out of hiding, and they all have the same goal. As if it were a race, they all seem to be heading in the same direction. Instinct tells them to hurry. It is important to get there faster than the others. A special event is about to happen. The forest floor now seems like their own racetrack, full of obstacles and challenges. The male approaches a tunnel dug in the rock. Confident, he enters the cave. It is an ancient Roman gold mine. Inside, other salamanders have already arrived. This is the largest known gathering of this amphibian species in the world. To this day, no other place is known where these salamanders come together to mate. The male advances through the cave until he finds an available female. The two embrace each other. After mating, the female will deposit the eggs. Protected by these ancient walls, the next generation is assured. These surprising creatures have fulfilled their mission. The end of summer is announced by the sounds of the rut season. A majestic creature reveals itself. The red deer. Their roars echo throughout the forest. Adult males now embody the sense of urgency of the mating season. A large, dominant male protects his herd of females. At this time of the year, the male concentrates all his efforts on keeping his harem together and thus ensuring his offspring. But there are other males in this forest, and they all want to take his place. Younger males will spend the next few weeks challenging the old stag. He has a burdensome task ahead of him. He will spend all of his time chasing away other suitors. His rivals are persistent. This onerous duty of keeping a harem comes at a very high cost. At the end of the season, the old stag will have lost almost 20% of his body weight. It's a true ordeal, but the payoff is equally significant. It seems that, despite everything, he will father the next generation of deer in these woods. Even so, the mating season shouldn't be the old stag's only concern. Danger is creeping silently through the woods. The females are sensing it. The herd is being stalked. While the old stag is being challenged by another male, a wolf pack is approaching without being detected. These predators work as a team, surrounding their prey. They observe the deer in the distance, waiting for the best moment. One false move, and they will likely fail. There is much tension in the air. 3 younger wolves can't hold the standoff and rush in for the prize. One of the females senses the danger and sounds the alarm. All the deer run away. The younger wolves still have a lot to learn until they master the art of the ambush. Now they will have to wait for the next opportunity. Only 1 out of 10 hunts is successful. Teamwork is essential to the survival of the wolf. These top predators are social creatures, and they must live in packs in order to survive. Wolf packs have important social structures. Each member has a very clear position. Family and social bonds are vital for the pack success. Wolves develop strong, affectionate relationships between them, kept mainly by playing with each other. Just like dogs, this pack is having fun while it strengthens its ties. This apparent aggressiveness is all part of the game. The notion of the wolf as a foul animal comes only from man's folklore and imagination. The wolf pack welcomed 3 new members this year. These pups were born 4 months ago. Like marmots, they will have to learn to live in society to survive on these mountains. These wonderful animals are managing to recover due to their ability to adapt. After centuries of persecution, their existence was in serious danger. Northern Iberian mountains served as the ultimate sanctuary for this species. However, it is still important to demystify the wolf's reputation and to change the mentality of rural populations. The existence of this species is vital. It has been proven all over the world that wolves are essential for keeping natural ecosystems in balance, healthy and vigorous. We hope they can continue to do so for a long time.